We're good? Okay. Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Council will reconvene. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Walsh.
Present.
Present. Counselor Fenton. Present. Present. Counselor Perez.
Present.
Present. Counselor Whitfield.
Present.
Present. Counselor Govan.
Present.
Present. Counselor Allen.
Present.
Present. Counselor Brown. Absent. Counselor Hurst.
Present.
Present. Counselor Click Bruce.
Present.
Present. Counselor Edwards.
Present.
Present. Counselor Curran.
Present.
Present. Counselor Davila. Absent. Counselor Letterman.
Present. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Will members and guests please rise for a moment of silence? Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any reports of committee this evening?
I have a report of the
Councillor Allen.
Thanks, Mr. President. The Finance Committee met this afternoon at 5:30. We had a pretty robust agenda. A lot of what is on tonight's agenda was on the Finance Committee agenda. There were some issues that we'll get into, in a little while, pension issues and some bonding issues and things. We had a good meeting. The counselors that were on the meeting were Councilor Fenton, Councilor Walsh, and Councilor Perez. There were about 19 people on the meeting. We got through almost everything but the executive session that's at the end of the meeting. There was an executive session earlier in an audit committee meeting this afternoon. I'm sure Councilor Hurst will give a report on that. But we didn't get to the executive session at the end of the Finance Committee meeting, but I'm sure it'll come up here in this meeting. But the meeting was, we didn't take a vote because it was just you and I that were there kind of from the two other members of the Finance Committee weren't able to be there. So just reporting that we discussed an awful lot of things on finance today, had a good meeting, and happy to discuss these things tonight in the full council.
Thank you, Councillor Allen. Are there further reports of committee this evening? Councillor Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. President. On January 17th, the Planning and Economic Development Committee met. The meeting was chaired by myself and attended by Councilors President Letterman, Perez, Govan, Allen, Fenton, and Hurst. Additionally, we were joined by Attorney G, who represents the city's interests related to cannabis, and representatives from the 3 active cannabis retailers operating in the city, Six Bricks, Liberty, and INSA. We were updated on changes in the industry and the impact on legalization of retail sales in Connecticut and New York. We were told that there were no problems with operations, traffic, and that they were all applying with conditions of their HCAs. There was a
Okay, quick question. What is a good tap for the spring, the summer gala?
Could the Focus Springfield crew please make me a co-host of the Zoom? And those that are present virtually are reminded to keep your microphones muted. I apologize, Councillor Edwards. Please continue.
I believe there was discussion of the benefits of adjusting permissible hours to be allowed for sale up till 11 p.m., and that item will be brought to this council at the appropriate time for consideration. There was a second report of committee that I'd like to present to the committee council. On January 31st, the Responsible Employer Committee met. The meeting was chaired by myself, attended by Councilor Allen, who is a member of the committee, and was joined by Fiore Grissetti, president of the Iron Workers Union, and a member of the committee as well. We were also joined by Councilor Whitfield, Eloy Taupin, and Chase Swan from the Compliance Office, and representatives of Fontaine Construction and the Carpenters Union. I believe I was remiss in not including Councilor Allen, who is also a voting member of that committee as well. My apologies, Council Allen. Representatives from Fontaine Construction, the Carpenters Union President Charlie Payne, Lisa Clausen, also from the Carpenters Union. And we were updated on 3 active projects: window replacement at SciTech, the Forestry Building in Forest Park, and the construction of the Dewberry Swan Elementary School. Of most interest was the improving numbers from the Dewberry Swan. While not where we would want them, the numbers are improving, and Fontaine is actively working to improve the numbers. The Forest Park project was not acceptable and has been put on notice. SciTech numbers were acceptable given the size and scope of the work. Charlie Payne, president of the Carpenters Union, has asked respectfully that I report to this council that the work of the REO is having a positive impact across the city, as contractors outside the purview of the Responsible Employer Ordinance Committee are reaching out to seek employees from Springfield, minorities, and women. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Edwards. Are there any further reports of committee this evening? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the reports of committee.
On accepting the reports of committee, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown. Absent, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila. Absent, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The reports are accepted. Madam Clerk, please call the first item.
The first item is the December revenue versus expenditure report.
Is there anyone here to speak to this item?
Thank you, Mr. President. Patrick Burns, City Comptroller, 90 Clement Street, Springfield. Tonight you have the December revenue versus expenditure report. This represents the half point in the fiscal year, and as you can see, our revenue is exactly at 50%, and our expenditures are at 54%. That is being driven by our pension payment that we made on July 1st and our debt payments that we make on a monthly basis, and as you can see, they're at 68%.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Are there any questions? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the report.
On accepting the report, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown. Absent, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila. Absent, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The report is accepted. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Next item is an Eversource Mill Street and Locust Street petition.
Director Signoli.
Good evening, councilors. Chris Signoli, DPW Director. Springfield Water and Sewer this spring will be embarking on a major sewer project in the area of Mill Street and on Locust and on Main. And one of the projects that they're working on will require Eversource to relocate 2 electric lines. One of them will be 41 feet from an existing pole to a new manhole, or excuse me, to an existing manhole, and 23 feet from an existing pole to an existing manhole. One is at the intersection of Mill and Cherry, and the other is at the intersection of Mill and Hancock Street.
Thank you, Director Signoli. Are there any questions? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to approve the petition.
On approving the petition, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown. Absent, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila. Absent, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The petition is approved. Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
Next item is the traffic control agreement at St. James Avenue.
Director Signoli.
Good evening, councilors. Chris Signoli, DPW Director. In front of you at the last meeting, we did the easements and land takings for the St. James, and Carew Street project. This item is the traffic control agreement with Mass DOT. Inside of the traffic control agreement, it basically has all of the traffic-related items as part of the project: parking, no parking, pavement markings, as well as any overhead signs and traffic regulations. We have to do this for every Mass DOT project that we're involved in. And basically what it is that once it is approved, if we want to change any of those rules and regulations, we have to go back through the Mass DOT to do that. So inside the packet is all the rules and regulations for the project that need to be approved by the council. It was referred by the Traffic Commission.
Thank you, Director Signoli. Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to approve the petition.
On approving the petition, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown. Absent, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click-Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila. Absent, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The petition is approved. Madam
Thank you,
Clerk,
councilors.
please call the next item.
The next item is a health services for the homeless grant, no match required, in the amount of $2.3 million.
Councilor Click-Bruce.
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a request to take items 4 and 7 together, if possible, please.
Without objection, hearing none, we will. On item 4, Commissioner Colton Harris.
Yes, thank you very much, councilors. I appreciate your help on this. This is our Health Services for the Homeless grant. It funds our health center. It is for homeless or unhoused individuals, accessibility, and cultural competence. It is providing mental health, dental, case management services to 3 counties in the Commonwealth, which are Hampden, Hampshire, and Berkshire.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any questions on item 4 for the Commissioner? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept item 4.
On accepting the grant, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown. Absent, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click-Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila. Absent, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The grant is accepted. Madam Clerk, please call item 7.
Item 7 is on expanding COVID-19 vaccination grant, no match required, in the amount of $65,983.
Commissioner?
Thank you very much. This also is for our unhoused or homeless population that goes along with the health center. It is to expand outreach and education so that hopefully we are able to increase the numbers of COVID-19 vaccinations for our unhoused population. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the Commissioner on this grant? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the grant.
On accepting the grant, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown. Absent, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click-Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran. Yes, Counselor Davila. Absent, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The grant is accepted. Madam Clerk, before you call item 5, just ensure that the record is accurately reflecting that Councilors Walsh, Whitfield, and Hurst are participating remotely. At this time, please call item 5.
Item 5 is Health and Human Services Youth Homelessness Grant increase in the amount of $240,000.
Is there anyone here to speak to item 5?
Yes, good evening. This is Jerry McCafferty, Director of Housing.
This is a grant that provides assistance to homeless young adults who are 18 to 24 years old. We have had a grant from the State of Massachusetts Executive Office of Health and Human Services since 2018. They give grants to 10 regions of the state, and the city of Springfield receives the grant for the region that is Hampden County. They have steadily increased this grant since it was first awarded. This is in fact the 8th increase in the award amount. This is adding $240,000, bringing the total to $2.6 million. The providers that do the work with this grant are Gondara and the Center for Human Development. Both of those agencies work throughout Hampden County to serve this population.
Thank you, Director McCafferty. Are there any questions for the director on this grant? Prior to our vote, Madam Clerk, can you please recognize Councilor Brown?
Counselor Brown.
Present.
Present.
All right. At this time, seeing no questions for the director, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the grant.
On accepting the grant, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click-Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila absent. Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The grant is accepted. Madam Clerk, please also let the record reflect that Counselor Brown is participating remotely, and please call item 6.
Item 6 is a Burn JAG grant, no match required, in the amount of $149,876.
Deputy Chief.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to talk to you about the JAG grant. The JAG grant is a program designed to assist states and local governments by supporting a broad range of activities to prevent and control crime and to improve the criminal justice system. This program is the leading source of federal justice funding to state and local jurisdictions. The grant provides spending flexibility across various program areas, including law enforcement, crime prevention and education programs, drug treatment and enforcement, crime victim and witness initiatives, prosecution and court programs, corrections, technological improvements, and mental health programs. To address areas of training and technology, the police department will use the grant for the following: Babson College leadership training, $105,000. Overtime for that training, $26,403. And technological improvements, being radios, $18,473.
Thank you, Deputy. Are there any questions from the council? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the grant.
On accepting the grant, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click-Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila absent. Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The grant is accepted. Members, items 8 and 10 are under $50,000 and can be taken together, but I believe item 9 is actually a $15 million grant. So let's take item 9 now, Madam Clerk.
Item 9 is a DPW Safe Streets and Roads for All discretionary grant in the amount of $15 million.
Director Signoli.
Good evening, councilors. In September of last year, the DPW applied for a grant through the Department of Transportation, Federal Department of Transportation. We were awarded $15,012,800. We are one of 37 communities in the country that was awarded a grant. Only Springfield and Boston in Massachusetts were awarded the grant, and Providence, no other communities in New England were awarded this grant for implementation. This work is going to be work done at 15 intersections throughout the city and along 10 corridors in the city. all safety improvements for pedestrians, bicyclists, and obviously the driving public. Updating materials at intersections and along corridors such as Page Boulevard, Carew Street, dealing with safety issues. We will be looking at pavement narrowing, raised tables, raised crosswalks, et cetera, in those areas. The grant was big help through Mass DOT, was helping us through this. And as I said, the application was made in September, and we were notified, I believe it was last Tuesday, on the award. And I would be happy to answer any questions on this.
Thank you, Director Signoli. Councilor Whitfield.
Thank you, Mr. President. Chris, I just wanted to congratulate you on the award and for writing such a large grant. That's great work. Definitely appreciate you putting in the effort to bring revenue to the city for needed improvements. With that, you mentioned the Page Boulevard corridor. What are some of the other corridors that will be getting updated?
If you give me 1 second, it is Boston Road, Main Street, Belmont Ave, Sumner Avenue, Walnut Street, White Street, Wilbraham Road, another section of State Street, Carew Street, another section of White Street, and Page Boulevard.
Is there an amount of that these improvements have to be done by, or did you write it into the plan? Because there's a lot of neighborhoods there.
Right, and
just trying to figure out how it'll affect traffic.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Counselor. What we are planning on doing is right now through the federal government, the work has to be completed by the end of either the end of 25 or the end of 26. So we have a period of time. And what our goal was is that we were going to be setting up meeting with the individual neighborhood groups that are impacted as part of this over the next 6, 8, 9 months as we're starting the design, to get their input, present what we think we want to be doing, and get their input. So we'll probably be meeting with most of the impacted neighborhood associations.
Okay, well, Chris, again, great job. I look forward to seeing the improvements.
Thank you.
You know? Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Councilor Govan, followed by Councilor Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. President. And also thank you, Chris, for writing such a good grant, and a grant that brought a lot of money to the city for those improvements that are truly, truly necessary. So I commend you. On the day that you had the press conference, I got a call from one of our neighbors who was very excited that you got that amount of money, and that she was hoping that you would do some work on her street. And we'll talk about, we've talked about Du Bois Street, but we'll continue working on that. Again, congratulations, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Councilor Walsh, followed by Councilor Allen.
Thank you, Mr. President. And yes, good work, Chris. You did mention State Street, and I'm wondering, we've had a lot of discussions on State Street down by the library. Is this plan going to impact that portion of State Street? And if not, where are we on those improvements?
The work that we're doing in front of the library, we are finishing the design right now, and actually these funds are going to allow us to pay for that without having to use either bond funds or something else. That specific location on State Street was part of the application, so it kind of allowed us to take advantage of that funding. So that design, that construction is going to be starting this spring. So once we have the funds in hand from the federal government, we will be able to use that money for that project.
Oh, that's good news. I know people have been waiting a long time for the safety improvements there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Councilor Walsh. Councilor Allen, followed by Councilor Perez.
Thank you, Mr. President. As chair of the Finance Committee and someone who's been on the Finance Committee a lot over the years, we approve these grants. These grants come, flying through, and we almost always accept them, et cetera. But I think this one kind of popped out at me, and because nobody else in Massachusetts got this grant except Boston, and if 37 grants in 50 states. So I'd like to really just take a moment to thank all the department heads who already we've had Helen Carlton Harris. We've had Rupert Daniel, Deputy Chief Rupert Daniel. We've had Jerry McCafferty talk about grants that they got. And these continuing grants are great to help make our city stronger, be able to do the things we want to do for our community. And then another congratulations to Chris on this for, this is a new one. It's not a, and great job at finding this and fighting for it and getting a huge grant, $15 million that we'll all benefit from improved streets. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Councilor Perez?
Yes, I just want to say congratulations, but at the same, I was on the committee today, the Finance Subcommittee. I think, and I stated this earlier, it's a great project, but we have some neighborhood that have been in existence, and I will not go out of the record to say that the Riverside Road has been an issue for 10 years. And I think that really needs to be looked up. And I have it one of the priority in my radar. So hopefully it gets up in the agenda. And again, congratulations. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, Councilor Perez. Are there any further questions or comments from the council? Councilor Edwards?
I'd like to echo all the comments from my colleagues. Job well done. And I'd just like to add also, happy birthday, Chris Signoli.
Happy birthday, Director
Thank you.
Signoli.
We'll sing later.
We actually will. That is a tradition at the Springfield City Council, if you didn't know.
Well, I'm going to get out of here then. I don't want to hear you guys sing.
At this time, are there any further questions for the director? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the grant.
On accepting the grant, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield. Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila absent. Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient and the grant is accepted.
Thank you, councilors.
Madam Clerk, as mentioned, items 8 and 10 are under $50,000, so we can take them together. If you could please read each of them.
Item number 8 is the National Environmental Health Association grant, no match required, in the amount of $26,000. And item number 10 is the FY23 Safe and Senior Safe Grant, no match required, in the amount of $13,358.
Are there questions on either of these? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept both grants.
On accepting the grants, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila absent. Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient and the grant is accepted. Madam Clerk, we received a request from the Finance Department to withdraw items 11, 12, and 13 to allow for further revisions to strengthen them before they're submitted to the state. Is that still accurate,
Yes.
Kappa?
Yes, it is.
All right. Is there such a motion to allow the withdrawal of items 11, 12, and 13?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Councilor Allen. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Govan. Is there any discussion on the motion to withdraw? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll on the motion to withdraw items 11, 12, and 13.
On the motion to withdraw, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila absent. Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The items are withdrawn. Madam Clerk, please call item 14.
Item 14 is an increase of cost of a living adjustment for fiscal year 2023.
Mr. Burns?
Thank you, Mr. President. Patrick Burns, 90 Clement Street, Springfield. On November 18th, Governor Baker approved a one-time increase to the cost of living adjustment for retirees from 3% to 5%. The 3% was already in effect for our retirees, so this 2% increase will be retroactive back to July 1st, and those that are eligible are only those that were on receiving retirement benefits on July 1st, and that number was given to me by the executive director of the retirement system, and that's 2,751 individuals, and the increase will come out to $260 on that $13,000 base, and the cost for fiscal year 2023 is $715,260. The actuary from PARAC provided us with a formula to calculate the long-term full cost estimate, and that cost is $7.1 million.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Are there any questions, comments, or deliberation amongst the council? Councilor Whitfield?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Pat, the 7.1 million is over what period of time?
That would be over a 10-year period. We're scheduled to fully fund our pension system by 2033, so we would have to amortize that cost over those 10 years.
Amortize the cost over the 10 years. So where are we projecting to take the increase of this revenue over the next 10 years? Where is that coming from? You just gonna build it into the budget?
We're scheduled to have a valuation next year it'll be as of 1/1/2024, and these increases will be built into that valuation, and the actuary will give us a new funding schedule that the retirement board will adopt, and then those payments will then be factored into the budget, but that won't start until 2025.
2025. So we're requesting to put more money into the retirement system. Do you think, so what do you think the projection will be over the next, from 2025 to 2030? What's the increase to the budget is what I'm trying to figure out.
Right now, the increase is 9.2%, so I would say it would remain at that level, if not possibly increase.
9.2%. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out the math, because it's going to increase year over year, correct?
Yes. Just for reference, the payment and the city payment in fiscal year 23 was 57.1 million. In fiscal year 24, that is going to increase to 62.5 million. So it's a $5 million increase.
62.5 million. And we have this all factored in. Where is this money coming from?
That is going to have to be appropriated in the budget, so the budget will have to react to that. That money has to be paid on July 1st to the retirement system by law.
So the budget, during the budget process, the retirement payment is going to increase by $5 million.
Correct.
Correct. And it has to be paid by, what's the date again?
We're scheduled to make that payment every year on July 1st. So the first day of fiscal year 2024, we'll be making that payment. I believe it's a Saturday this year, so I think it would be possibly on the 3rd this year that we'd be making the payment.
All right. So I'm just, okay. So we know that there's going to be a $5 million increase there. It's probably going to be an increase to property tax again. we want to sink more money into the pension fund and OPEB and into the retirement system and give an increase. And I'm not saying retirees don't deserve an increase, but there's like retired people across the city, not just that works for the city, which I did, that need some type of relief. And so I'm thinking like a lot of the free cash is being proposed to get taken into the retirement system as well. And there's going to be a year-over-year increase. So these are all the things that we have to think about right now that's going to affect the budget later in the next couple of months. And I just want to bring that information to the council's attention because I think it's important for us to know when the budget does increase that these are the things that's impacting it. Now, I do believe retirees on all levels deserve a cost of living increase, especially around this time where everything is still going up, including gas and oil. But I just want to take careful consideration when we're taking the free cash to invest in other places. And it was probably a thorough conversation during the finance subcommittee meeting. However, I couldn't make that. I'm actually on vacation in Washington, I'm in California with my son, so I couldn't make that. But I just want us to really consider the increase to the budget that some of these actions are going to take and impact. Thank you, Mr. President. I'm all set.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Are there further questions? Councilor Allen?
Thanks, Mr. President. We discussed this afternoon at the Finance Committee meeting. I appreciate Councilor Whitfield's comments. Anytime we have an increase to anything, we have to consider what it does to our budget and whether it's the right decision. Looking at our pension, which we talk about a lot because we're the lowest funded in the state, in the 10 or 12 years that we've been at it, really being incredibly responsible about it, combination with the mayor, the finance team, the retirement board. We've all worked collaboratively on this and been consistently with each other on supporting the annual payments of the pension. And those payments have gone from around $30 million a year to, you just heard, $57 million, $62 million this July. The good side of that is we were 26% funded when this all started, and we are now 39% funded. So it's paying off. And we do have to come up with this money by 2033 when we're supposed to be fully funded. The other side of it, though, is we've got 2,700 or so people who receive the pension, many of whom are at the low end of the pension, and don't get and can totally use this money. So from a standpoint of doing the right thing, I think the right thing is to support this, is to give people the full 5%. It's not something we can afford to do every year. It's not something that's done every year. But this year, it's being done. Social Security went up 8% this year for people who receive Social Security. And most of our retirees do not receive Social Security. So this is an opportunity for us to do this one-time thing and to stay aware of what we need to do in terms of tightening our belts on the budget overall, et cetera. And Councilor Fenton had the idea of investing some of our money in T-bills, which will mitigate some of this if everything works out right. You see one of the items on here, which hasn't come up yet. It's a couple items away, or 2 items from where we are now, is to put some money into the pension and invest it in T-bills so we start to make some money on this money we set aside. So we're doing a lot of things together. It's hard to always take on a new expense, but this expense, in my mind, we have to take on from a human standpoint, from a sustainability standpoint, for our people who have worked for the city, who are in the pension plan, and need us to be looking out for their best interests. So I'm going to support this tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Councilor Whitfield?
Thank you, Mr. President. I agree with Councilor Allen. This is great to support. However, there are folks that's on the council that are newer, that need to hear the whole process, need to hear both sides of the process, because budget season is coming up for some. It might be their first budget season. And so we just want to be aware of the increases that happen when we make these type of decisions. Now, I definitely support increases to the retirement system. However, we hear about pension all the time because it's always brought up, like every single meeting pension is brought up. And so I don't think that it's a bad thing, but there's other aspects of the city of Springfield that needs a break. There are other retirees that never worked for the city of Springfield that need a break. And those are some of the folks that we need to be thinking about too, and how we can take some of the money that we have and invest outside of the city of Springfield retirees as well. And so it's nice to go through the whole thing, even if you can't make every single finance subcommittee meeting or whatever meetings that come up. We all still have a lot going on. But I also support this increase, but just want to make sure we create the awareness so during budget time we know what to look for. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Is there further debate amongst the council? Seeing none. Without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to approve the increased COLA for fiscal year 2023.
On improving the increase, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
No.
No, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila. Absent, Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The item is approved. Madam Clerk, please call item 15.
Item 15 is free cash to the Police Department IBPO settlement in the amount of $5.9 million.
CAFO Plant.
Thank you, Mr. President. To the City Council, we are here requesting the transfer of free cash in the amount of $5.9 million to pay for the IBPO contract that was ratified and adopted in the last meeting. The breakdown is a $1.13 million for fiscal 21, $2.44 million for fiscal 22, and year-to-date fiscal 23 is $2.3 million for a total of $5.9 million.
Thank you, Mr. CAFO. Are there any questions, comments, or deliberation? See, Councilor Govan.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I'm not sure if we can, do we need to be in an executive session to see, what is this settlement about?
It's not, settlement's probably not the appropriate term. It's just to pay for the retro pay for the police officers in the contract that was recently passed.
Okay, thank you. So I know that we've been talking about free cash all year, last year, and we were talking about helping all the residents of the city. I approved the what we're calling a settlement to the police department because they certainly deserve it. But when we're talking about spending free cash, I want us to remember that all of our residents, like Councilor Whitfield said, need help, you know, and I know that we just passed a COLA increase for the retirees, which is only 2,700 employees or residents. Well, they might not be even be residents of the city of Springfield, but we have 156,000 people living in our city who need help. I just wanted to bring that up, but thank you, CAFO.
Thank you, Councilor
Thank you.
Govan. Councilor Whitfield.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can I get the total free cash number?
The total free cash that was certified was $67.8 million. If all the transfers go through tonight as sponsored by the mayor, then they'll leave $30.3 million for us to figure out how to deal with that amount.
For us to figure out, and TJ, that money that's being invested in the T-bill, where is that coming from?
So the original investment is from the stabilization reserve fund of $45 million that we have invested for a year. That'll net over around approximately $2 million or so.
So $2 million to bring down the property tax bill because it's not gonna go back out to the community in the form of a service, correct? It's gonna do what the free cash has been doing?
Correct. It's going to be
Over
put,
the past years?
correct. It's going to be put on the tax recap sheet as revenue to reduce property taxes.
And does that money have to be transferred, get approval from us to be transferred?
You will need to have a vote to move it around the budget time, or excuse me, around when we set the tax rate time next year, to appropriate the $2 million for that, for the property tax
But
reduction.
What about the stabilization reserve fund?
All those funds have to come before the city council to be appropriated.
Okay, because we got $2 million right now to give a tax break in free cash to our residents, but there's no program, so we're gonna invest this money for $2 million to reduce the property tax bill next year by $2 million, but we can actually do that right now and maybe use the stabilization and reserve fund for something different, maybe, or just hold on to it for economic downturns that we've been talking about, some of these finance meetings. And the free cash will have 33 million left. So who's gonna be in the room to decide on that free cash, TJ?
I mean, we haven't made any major decisions. We've talked about putting money into this additional resource into the stabilization reserve as it exists today. We've talked about some community investments. We've talked about a variety of things. So the mayor is the one that's going to be.
When you say community investments, do they mean throughout Springfield or community investments in downtown?
It all depends on what's in the capital plan and what the neighborhood needs are, similar to how we deal with the investments we do now.
Yeah, sometimes we got to do things differently because there's populations of people that's not benefiting from how things are being done now. And sometimes we got to do things differently and maybe involve different people in the conversation and the discussion when you're deciding what to do with this, because to me, it sounds like I know who you was in the room with to determine where this free cash is going. But, okay, those are my questions. Thank you, TJ.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Are there further questions, comments, or deliberation amongst the council? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to approve the free cash transfer for the Police Department IBPO settlement. 2/3 majority vote is required.
On approving the transfer, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown. Councilor Brown. Away, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila. Absent, Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient and the transfer is approved. Madam Clerk, please call item 16.
Item 16 is an FY22 free cash to pension stabilization reserve fund in the amount of $15 million.
CAFO Plant.
Thank you, Mr. President. To the council, this request is to ask to transfer $15 million from certified free cash to a pension stabilization reserve with the intent, as long as rates stay where they're at right now, roughly around 4.8%, to invest in treasury notes to have it stay with the stabilization fund and actually help address some of the funding issues with the pension fund.
Thank you, CAFO Plant. Is there any deliberation amongst the council? Councilor Allen.
Thanks, Mr. President. TJ, just a clarification. This is not being paid like the July payment. This is not being paid.
Correct. This is not a payment.
Being set aside.
This is
in a reserve fund.
For future use.
Am I getting that right?
That is correct.
So just want to clarify that. So, and we set aside, you're saying if we set aside this 15 million, that it'll be set aside for pensions and.
Yeah, so we set aside 1.5 million last year, and now that 1.5 has grown approximately to 2 million, and now we're adding another 15 to invest approximately 17 million with a return on investment of $769,000.
Great. Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Allen. Counselor Whitfield.
Thank you, Mr. President. Okay, so I think Counselor Allen explained what I was questioning, because you said it's not going directly toward the pensions, right? It's not decreasing any of the pension payment or time.
Correct. This is to set up an account, so if we find ourselves in the event we can't afford the future payments in the out years, where if it's growing too much, we have a funding source to help address funding the pension schedule.
Can we lose money in this account, TJ?
We cannot lose the principal, and we don't really lose the money. We've invested in the Treasury notes backed by the full faith of the federal government, so it's not a risk. It's not concerned or deemed a risky investment.
So is this part of this free cash part of the other funds that you want to take from stabilization reserves to do the same?
No, this is a separate investment. This again with the OPEB as well. After this, this is strictly for the pension, to stay with the pension fund, reserve fund rather, and then help kind of continue to grow those funds to have a bigger amount available for future use.
And it can only be used for pension in the future if anything happens and we go into a recession. These funds can only be used for the pension?
Now, I'll defer to the comptroller on the, whether or not we can dissolve a stabilization fund with the vote of the city councilor. I don't know.
The mayor can put a order in front of the council to repurpose the stabilization fund, but that requires a 2/3 approval of the council.
Okay, thank you, comptroller. I think it makes it less risky for me if it can be transferred. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Counselor Whitfield. Is there any further deliberation? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to authorize the free cash transfer to Pension Stabilization Reserve Fund. 2/3 majority vote is required.
On authorizing the transfer, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown. Away, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Kern.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila absent. Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The transfer is approved. Madam Clerk, please call item 17.
Item 17 is free cash to OPEB Trust in the amount of $6.7 million.
CAFO Plant.
Thank you, Mr. President, to the council. Similar concept with the OPEB, post-employment benefits that we give to our retirees. We're required to pay them. Right now, we do a pay-as-you-go. We pay the retirement, pension, and the benefits. And GASB, Government Accounting Standards Board, has us keep this on our balance sheet to make sure we're starting to address it. It takes 10% of free cash, in this case $6.7 million, puts it into a trust account dedicated for the purpose of pension, post-employment benefits, and we have an ordinance and a policy that has us doing this, and we have for the last few years. It'll bring the total balance of the account to approximately $13 million, which we would intend to invest again in the Treasury bills, Treasury notes, with a return on investment of roughly $590,000 in a year.
Thank you, Mr. Capo. Is there any deliberation amongst the council? Councilor Kern.
Question, TJ. When you buy these Treasury notes, are they through Treasury Direct, or is there a broker, is there a commission involved in those notes, and how much, if there's?
We used this Flynn Advisors is who we've used, and there's a small commission of roughly, it was 30 grand-ish for the 45 million transaction, and there'd be probably 15 to 20 grand for the transaction to purchase these. We looked into Treasury Direct, and both the treasurer and I felt a little more comfortable having someone that has done this and does this for a living be the ones to make sure that we're doing it right. So hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Kern. Is there any further deliberation? Councilor Whitfield?
TJ, I just have a quick question. Like, when do we actually apply these funds to these accounts? Like, do we take the interest out or we just keep reinvesting the interest? Because I think like if we start applying it, then we owe less and less payments to like our pension system. We hear about it so much that how do we start getting those payments reduced or down, like our years and the amounts?
So right now, we're not going to apply the investments to reduce the appropriation. We're in the fiscal health of the city. We can, cover the cost of the increases in pension. But when we get to a point where they're growing at a rate that is unsustainable, we will then apply what we've earned. And the goal is to keep an eye on the Treasury notes or other investments that the Treasurer can do to kind of keep the momentum going for keep growing the accounts.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like how long do we do this before we start making a dent into the pension and into the OPEB? Because we always hear about like how much we're struggling in those areas, and these investments, not even the interest is going to like reduce that liability. So I'm just trying to wonder, like, when do we start doing that? We're investing for a reason. When do we start using the interest or something and reinvest the principal?
So right now, as long as the 9.2% remains somewhat sustainable, we don't really need to dip into what we're earning in revenue from these investments. However, Treasurer Lonergan monitors cash flow and monitors all that stuff to make sure that we're ready to kind of start doing it, start addressing it. If we get to a point, 9.2 is a very, very aggressive schedule. And that is, we've made tremendous progress by doing it. It does come with a cost of, growing the general fund budget by more than, the 2.5% annually that, set by Prop 2.5. But this is a deliberate approach to try to start to address many of the issues that we've had with our system for many, many years now.
Well, TJ, I think it's a great aggressive initiative. However, because we hear so much about how much we're in the deficit with our pension, I would love to like get to a point where we are decreasing that deficit at some point. So maybe that's a conversation we can have, because these are investment vehicles and I thought they were going to reduce the pension liability that we have, and they're not. And so when we talk about our pension liability and our schedule, we are doing something to combat it. We need to also say that, because that's not a story that we hear often when we're talking about the pension and the liability that we have. We don't hear that we're investing money so we can decrease that pension liability over time. That's not the story that's normally told when we're asking to invest more money into the pension. So thank you, TJ.
We did decrease the liability. We went from 26% funded to 39% funded. So that's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, it is the right direction, but when we're asking for more funds for it, we don't hear that there's a reserve fund, is what I'm saying, TJ. So yes, that's a really great improvement. But let's just tell the whole story sometimes. That's all I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Is there any further deliberation? Seeing none. Without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to authorize the free cash transfer to the OPEB trust. 2/3 majority vote is required.
On authorizing the transfer, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown. Away, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila absent. Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The transfer is approved. Madam Clerk, please call item 18.
Item 18 is a bond authorization for police vehicles in the amount of $1 million.
Deputy Daniel.
Good evening, Council President. Thank you again. Department, we have over 300 vehicles, and most of them run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 74 of those vehicles are Crown Vics, and some of them go back to like 2007 and 2008. And because the parts prices have increased so much, a lot of these vehicles aren't even worth fixing anymore. We are planning on using this $1 million to buy marked and unmarked vehicles, mobile radios for those vehicles, mobile data terminals, and we're going to get a transport van, prisoner transport van. And that's actually going to be a big upgrade over what we have now. It has individual seatbelts for all the prisoners. It's got video camera equipment in it. It also has compartments, so if we have to separate people, we can do that. The current thing we have doesn't. And the last thing, we'd like to get another Harley Davidson to help out with traffic control.
Thank you, Deputy. Are there any questions from the council or deliberation? Councilor Walsh?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Deputy Chief. I thought you made a great presentation in the Finance Committee, and I'm just wondering, after this vote, which I'm sensing will be successful, where does that leave you with the vehicles? Are you still going to have a great need?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, like the $1 million back in there used to get us like 20 vehicles. And I've been running the chauffeur in the garage area for a while. If I could get 20 vehicles a year, I could keep up. But with accidents and all these other things, and with the higher, like each of our vehicles, I think they went up between $10,000 and $14,000 each just from like last year. So now instead of getting 20 vehicles, we only get like 15. And then with the DOJ, there's certain equipment we have to upgrade, and that's like another, thousands of dollars for a vehicle. So yeah, we definitely could use more money for vehicles. I would never turn down money for vehicles. It's definite need.
And when you get the vehicles, do you get them from an agency that helps reduce the cost, or how does that work?
Right now, we go through MHQ, and so they buy vehicles in bulk but they buy them directly from Ford, so that takes a long time. So that's a little bit of a problem we have. So I talked to my sergeant that runs the that runs the garage, and he found another place where we can get the vehicles. And this guy basically had a lot of money, bought dealerships. So each year, they already get cars from Ford. They don't have to order them or anything. And then he takes those cars, brings them we'll bring those to MHQ, and then we'll get them converted to police vehicles, put the proper emergency equipment in them and stuff. So we're trying to come up with ways to save money, but we're always going to have a need for vehicles.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Walsh. Is there any further deliberation? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to authorize the bond. 2/3 majority vote is required.
On authorizing the bond, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown. Away, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown, and yes, Councilor Hurst. Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila absent. Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The bond is authorized. Madam Clerk, item 19, please.
Item 19 is for a TJ O'Connor donation in the amount of $16,183.
Director Swanson.
Yep. So this is donations presented that were received from November 1st to December 31st.
Thank you, Director. Are there any questions? Seeing no questions, at this time, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the donation.
On accepting the donation, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila absent. Councilor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The donations are accepted. And Director Swanson, please let the donors know that they have the thanks of the Springfield City Council.
Indeed, thank you, sir.
Madam Clerk, please call item 20.
Item 20 is for bills of prior year for TJ O'Connor in the amount of $2,960.
Director Swanson.
Yes, these bills occurred during a transition from a previous executive director. We've got all of the invoices situated. It was just a bill was paid, but not two specific invoices. So everything is, all the bills are covered. We just need the approval to go ahead and pay them from 2022.
Thank you, Director Swanson. Are there any questions? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to authorize the bill of prior year.
On authorizing the bills, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila absent. Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The bills are authorized. Madam Clerk, please call item 21.
Item 21 is a Health and Human Service donation in the amount of $2,500.
Good evening, counselors. This is donations for our community baby shower, as well as the Child Maternal Health Commission to do the work that we're going to do in the community in our May events. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Are there any questions? Seeing none, without objection, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to accept the donation for HHS.
On accepting the donation, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards. Yes, Counselor Curran. Yes, Counselor Davila absent. Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The donations are accepted. Commissioner, please let the donors know they have the gratitude of the Springfield City Council. Madam Clerk, please call the final item.
The final item is free cash to law department accounts.
Members, an executive session has been requested for this item. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Councilor Fenton.
Oh, sorry.
President, I make a motion that we go into executive session with the purpose of discussing litigation strategy with the intention that we return.
Is there a second? Second. Motion was seconded by Councilor Govan. Original motion was made by Councilor Fenton to enter executive session with the intention of reconvening an open session. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing no discussion at this time, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to enter executive session.
On the motion, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila absent. Counselor Letterman.
Yes, the votes are sufficient. The council will enter executive session. At this time, the way this is going to work, members that are individuals who are guests that are present in the chamber, we would ask that you exit the chamber at this time. And so if you are not a member of the city council or a member of our legal counsel, we would ask that you now exit the room. For those of you that are participating virtually, we are going to switch over to the executive session link that was sent out earlier today. Once Focus Springfield facilitates the transfer to the virtual executive session link, Focus Springfield will then exit the chamber as well, and we'll ask the detail officer to seal the chamber, at which point I'll call us to order an executive session. We will return to this meeting link that we are currently on Zoom after executive session for the purpose of voting on the order. If you have trouble with the link, counselors, please feel free to text me or call me.
Thank you.
We're doing pretty well on time. A point of order, 10 points of order, 15 points of order. Listen, I used to be the point of order guy. Were you? Oh, yeah.